Good evening, everybody. We know there's no sound. Of course there's nothing there, Amy. It's just an introduction to keep everyone knowing that we're live, but we're waiting patiently. It's the dome of silence. Good evening. Olivia and I are on tonight. Amy, I hope you're doing okay. Please give us an update on your vehicle. We want to know. A little bit of a new intro, obviously. We decided to get Wimkin going and everything else before we started, so we have the new screen. Liv, how are you doing tonight?
I'm wonderful.
Outstanding.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's getting there. It is getting a little chilly.
Time to start layering.
Yeah, it is. Well, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Pre-show is just getting going here. We will be back in 3 minutes. A little bit of our store in the background, so you can kind of see some of the items that we have available. If you ever go over to thedumshow.com, you can find a whole bunch of stuff. My God, 5 rating stars on all of our store. It is one of the highest rated stores on the internet when it comes to shows and podcasts. If you go take a look, it's ridiculous. The rating is a diamond rating from one of the highest and most prestigious rating systems on the internet. Go take a look. It's down at the bottom of the page. Hope you're all doing well. We're going to talk about some stuff. A lot of things happen between now and our morning show. We'll go over it together. Please share with your friends and family and everyone else, and let's get this sucker going. Amy, keep me in the loop, please. And let's rock and roll, folks. We've got about 10 seconds, and we'll see you on the other side in 3 minutes. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. We'll be right back. Step into a Wimkin. What's going on, everybody? Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me show. I am proud to announce that the Documents of Freedom are back in stock. It's a 3-book collection, leather-bound, by Arcadia Publishing. Starts out with the Bill of Rights, and it's the complete edition of the rights, so you can look up and reference anything your heart desires. Declaration of Independence, with revisions and founder images included, beautifully illustrated. And last but not least, what would Documents of Freedom be without the Constitution of the United States of America in its entirety? The box is handmade by PFC Flags, custom engraving, all 100% made in the USA from the nails to the glue. And we have a 5-star rating, satisfaction guaranteed, 150 sold 5 stars or better. It is so important, especially in today's society, to ensure that the younger generation has these books available in the future. Get them for your family and friends, available right now. Head on over to thedumshow.com/books.
Thanks so much.
Howdy, y'all. This is Damani Felder. These are perilous times in American history, and now more than ever, we need individuals who are willing to wage war on the ideological battlefield with like-minded individuals. And I can think of no better place to start than my friends at the Don't Unfriend Me show. So thank you for being here, and enjoy the show.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Olivia, how are we doing?
I'm wonderful. I got it done.
Okay, good.
I finally did it. I didn't understand because it said
I know,
it
you
must
gotta
be
do it.
between 11:13. I'm like, I'm putting 11:13.
Got to put it in the future.
Didn't realize that.
Folks, the show is not capitalized, but it's
Oh, I didn't know it was.
It's
Can we
there.
Fix it.
Show goal. No, don't worry about it. Show.
I'm learning.
You're doing great. Show goal is 250. We have reset the count. We've hit goals so many times. People are amazing. They are just awesome. We hit it today. I think this is show 27, hitting it, and over almost 7 months of hitting it. So you guys are just killer. We are so very stoked to continue to provide high quality shows for you, and we will continue to do so. I think what we're going to start doing is, Matt, do you send out order surveys? I do. They come out randomly. I don't pick it. I have no control because that's why we're rated so high. So it's all natural, organic by the company. So I don't control it. And you'll be randomly selected. You will be. Everybody gets randomly selected to do a review. It just takes a while. There's a lot of appointments kicked up, and it's crazy. We are trying to process all of it. And this is the one thing I need to turn off the continuity camera. Disconnect.
The what?
Nothing. I'm talking to myself.
Oh.
So, yeah. There's a lot. And I think we're going to try to do it all in one piece at a time here. 1 second, folks. I'm trying to get my windows open so we can do this. Okay, so real quick. If you guys don't know, you can go over to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Show you on the phone over here makes it real simple. So for donations, I know people ask all the time, how do I donate? What do I do? All that type of stuff. It's real simple. thedumshow.com/donate and will take you right to our donation page. And we have added the easiest and simplest way we know how. PayPal, you just go ahead and you can click donate here, and it'll take you right to the PayPal area. You can actually do a monthly, a yearly if you want to. You can give any number and increments that you want and donate right through PayPal. That's how you go ahead and do that. Hopefully that wasn't too fast. You can mail, and you can also use Venmo as well. And then there's a little story where we tell you we love you and thank you so much. While you're there, you saw those wonderful clothes in the beginning, and you can also do your shopping. All of this can be done right from your phone. The app is extremely intuitive and works fairly seamlessly. So you can go take a look and go do that. And let's see. I don't know why this isn't. I'm telling you it's working, and it's not working now. Let's go ahead and go over here to thedumnews.com. You can go to the Dumb News, and you can have all your news. You can see our live shows up on top and replay those. That is thedumnews.com. And then while you were there, you can go to the store as well by clicking the little link, and you can see all of our stuff. It's all broken down into shirts, hats, sweaters, jackets, coffee, books. We have it all. So say you want to go and look for the wonderful Documents of Freedom. It's right there. Pictures and everything. It's super fast. The site has been updated to make sure we give you guys the best experience possible. And that's pretty much it. So that's how you donate. That's how you do that. We'll probably tell you how to do it again here in a little bit, but we want to try to make sure everyone feels comfortable. Looks like we got a donation. Did I miss it?
No, it hasn't popped. I just put it in and people are liking, so it popped up.
There it is. Do you see how smooth it is? Did you hear it? It didn't break up in audio. Everything's beautiful. Yes. Bobby Richardson donated. I want to see Amy and Leroy because I have a feeling that their audio is no longer going to break up.
That'd be an issue.
And
yeah.
I'm really, it'd be an issue. What?
No, that their audio will be an issue at all.
Yeah, it won't be. Yeah, so we're pretty excited. All right, let's get into it. We got a lot to do tonight. We don't want to dilly-dally. And we're going to get right into the picks. I think it's pretty important to dive right into it. So let's do it. Here are the people Trump has picked. And I want to do a high level overview. Olivia hasn't had a chance to really go into this. Representative Lee Zeldin. And we went over that last night. Stephen Miller, etc. But there have been a couple added that we might want to dive into. And everyone thought the most controversial pick was going to be Pete Hegseth. Picture does look crisper. The reason why the picture looks crisper is because we're broadcasting in 4K. We're no longer broadcasting in 1080p. I forgot to tell you that. So audio, we're running at like 312 kbps. For audio, which is the highest you can do. And although it will be in stereo, which is good. And then the video, we're broadcasting in 4K. So highest resolution possible right now. You're getting the best looking that you can. And it should be streaming just absolutely humming. No lag whatsoever. We're pretty excited about it. Thank you, the Kev Mun. We appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, but you can see the resolution. It's pretty crisp and pretty good. And these are what our cameras should look like. They should look like $1 million. And they do. And so does Olivia. Damn, you're hot.
Thank you.
Let's go to the next one. This is the one that is interesting. Tulsi Gabbard. And I thought that was going to be, I was like, okay, that's going to be controversial. And then, oh my God, Matt Gaetz. I want to get people's opinions. And phone lines are most assuredly open.
My thought on Tulsi Gabbard is, I mean, I don't know a whole ton about her, but my one question I asked you was she in intelligence? Because I know she was military. I think that somebody who's in that role should at least have been in the intelligence community in the military. That's just my personal opinion.
Well, okay, hold on. One. I got to put it on my permissions. Okay, there we go. Tulsi Gabbard. Well, let's walk through because I know for a fact Pete Buttigieg was in Intel. And I can't remember if she is. She very well could have been. Let's find out together, shall we? Tulsi Gabbard bio. All right, so what we've got with Tulsi, just so I can go over, and I know a lot about her, so I just want to make sure I get it right. She was born in American Samoa, if you did not know. And yeah, Tulsi Gabbard's hot. You just need to know this. This is something that you need to embrace, people. She's smoking. And that is, I think, where she gets a lot of her mojo from is people think she's hot, and they would be correct. Now, does that make somebody who is who's perfect for a role? No, not at all. But she was a military officer. Her early education was in Hawaii. She homeschooled, had a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from Hawaii. She served in the Hawaiian Army National Guard. She served 2 tours in the Middle East, 12-month deployments, 2004 to 5 in Iraq, 2008 and 9 to Kuwait. She was a military police platoon leader. That's right. And she achieved the rank of major and continues to serve in the U.S. Army Reserve. Political career, state legislature, Hawaii at 21, very young age. Honolulu City Council, U.S. House of Representatives, 2012 from 23 to 21. She first American Samoan and first Hindu member of Congress. During her tenure, she was known for her focus on foreign policy, particularly her opposition to U.S. military intervention. DNC is vice chair of the DNC, and in 2020, she ran for Democratic nomination. This is her political evolution. This is important to listen to. In October 2022, she announced her departure from the Democratic Party, citing ideological differences. She became an independent before officially joining the Republican Party in 2024. Her political positions have shifted over time, with recent stances aligning more closely with conservative viewpoints. Recent developments, obviously, is Donald Trump nominated Gabbard to Director of National Intelligence. Now, this will require a confirmation. It is not going to be, in my opinion, the most challenging confirmation, minus some of the accusations that have been made by the DNC. Of course, Megyn Kelly said what I said, because Megyn Kelly and I share the same brain, because she is my secret lover. That's not true at all. But Olivia and I are not surprised, because we seem to have very similar opinions as Megyn Kelly. Now, I haven't seen anything.
I have more material things.
I haven't seen anything from Megyn Kelly. Let me see. Nope, I don't have anything current. Maybe someone could link me something. Mom, would you take a look at that for me? See if you can find Megyn Kelly on Tulsi Gabbard and what she has to say about Tulsi.
On Twitter or
anywhere?
Okay.
On the internet, you know, the internet, honey.
Well, you like to have Twitter videos. They work better for you.
I don't want videos. I just want the internet. I just want to find the story.
Okay.
Yeah, anything that has to do with Tulsi Gabbard and Megyn Kelly, what she had to say. Are you good? Do you need help, hon?
No, my phone just decided to freeze. So
yeah, look on your $3,500 Mac. You know that beautiful computer that's in front of you, hon? Why are you using your phone, honey?
Because habit.
It's a horrible device for what we're trying to do. You can do it 1,000 times faster, and then you can drop it right to me, right? You can share it. So just use your computer, forget the phone, drop the phone, don't need it anymore. I worry about Tulsi's beliefs and conflicts she will have. Sorry, we have a little inside baseball back here. The World Wide Web. Okay, let's get into Tulsi Gabbard here. So turn on your brightness, punk.
It's because I'm on the other trying to find stuff. Yeah, that's why.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so it'll be away in just a minute.
That's fine. So Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence. I've got my reservations. And my reservations aren't based upon her intelligence level. It is I don't necessarily trust Tulsi Gabbard. Now, you might say, well, Matt, why don't you like her? And mine isn't because she was on the do not fly list and she was on the watch list, the terror watch list. I want to hear about that in open committee. Like when she does her confirmation hearing, I want to hear about why she had a no fly and was on the terrorist watch list. I want to know why. And everyone's like, well, because, she was Donald Trump. She wasn't Donald Trump. She was a Democrat.
Liberty Mutual.
And that bothers me. And I want to know why. That's my first reaction. Okay. It's going to take a lot to get her confirmed, but if she can answer that and they can answer that in open forum, why she was on do not fly and terror watch list and what relationships, supposedly the insinuation was that she had ties to Russia. I want to know. Now some people are saying Garland and Mayorkas, or okay. If you're saying that it was a Democrat targeting issue, well, then why don't they target Matt Gaetz? Why didn't they target everybody and put them on the do not fly? They didn't. So we have to stop and ask the questions. What's Melanie saying? I don't know about Matt's wife and the influence she has on him. Her relationship with Harry worries me.
It might be Matt Gaetz. I think that's probably who they're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about Matt Gaetz. We're talking about Tulsi Gabbard. We'll get to Matt Gaetz in a second. Let's stay focused. I'm all aware about Matt Gaetz. We're talking about Tulsi Gabbard right now. We'll talk about Matt Gaetz in a second. I agree with Megan in the sense that I agree with all the picks because Donald Trump did it and I trust his judgment. I don't know if Tulsi Gabbard is someone who I think is a smart pick. I've said my piece. I don't believe she's demonstrated enough loyalty to the Republican Party. Here we go. You're not listening to me.
No, I'm
Matt,
trying to
not
find
you.
the thing.
Matt, Dems do stupid shit for no reason other than you disagree with them as well. You're not listening to what I said. Why did the Dems single her out? How many U.S. politicians do you know who are on a do not fly and a terror watch list? Name them. That's what I thought. Okay. So Matt Gaetz most assuredly would be on a terror watch list. Now, the Department of Justice did a number over him and said sex trafficking. Those charges were dropped. I understand they play political theater, but this was a very specific move when she did not have allegiance to the Republican Party. Follow what I'm saying.
I can't find anything.
We heard it already. Someone already said it.
Oh, okay.
So I understand the Democrats do. Everyone needs to get their head out of their pants for a minute and just ask some questions. I warned you about Tulsi Gabbard a long time ago, and I was not incorrect. Her policies were, she was the second most progressive legislator in Washington, D.C., outside of Kamala Harris. That's concerning, right? So she's literally in a period of 2 years dumped all of her belief structure and had ideological change. And I've asked this earlier. If you think Tulsi Gabbard, who is a Democrat, can do that because she became a Republican, why didn't you vote for Kamala Harris? Because Kamala Harris said she dumped her ideology and completely shifted gears too. We knew it wasn't true. So you have to ask yourself the question, does Tulsi Gabbard still believe these things? I don't know, because she hasn't run for public office. I want to know why she was put on a do not fly terrorist watch list. That's what I want to know. I have a right to know as an American citizen. And I want to know. And you should want to know too. Why don't you want to know? So that's all. They targeted the mayor of New York, but just because he asked for his money back for illegals, did they put him on a terrorist watch list and a do not fly list? No. Okay, so it's not the same thing. I know, I'm aware what they did to the wonderful Eric from New York. Maybe they were punished her for speaking out about the Dem policy by putting her on a terrorist watch list and a do not fly list. There's other ways to punish people. Folks, do you believe that there are people who go on a do not fly list and a terrorist watch list who deserve it? Liv, what do you think? Do you think there's people who deserve it?
Yes.
Okay, great. Should we not find out? Folks, why are people resistant to this? What are you afraid of finding out?
I mean, if she's in charge of our intelligence, national intelligence, and she was on that, there should be some background research into her and see what's going on and why she was put on that list. Because if she was put on there for an actual good reason, not just because she disagreed with somebody, but an actual reason, I don't want her in charge of our national intelligence.
Well, it's not that Dems have done some crazy shit. I don't know if you guys understand this, but you're looking at the DOJ and you're not looking this from the DOD. Does anyone trust any branch of our government? Is there anyone who trusts any branch? Because there are branches that I trust 100% that I've worked with and I feel comfortable saying are not impacted by what we have seen over the last 8 years. If you have just no faith in our government and everything's corrupt, every branch, every nuance, every sliver, every bolt, every screw, every column, well, then we're in some deep trouble. If you truly believe that because a person has an R in front of their name, they can do no wrong. I told you a long time ago that I don't trust her. And I don't trust her because anyone who abandons their principles and ideology for a political movement, I have some questions. I really do. I've got a lot of questions. You should want it as well. I am an intelligence professional. I have held compartmentalized SCI clearances. I have done a lot of work for the United States government through intelligence, and I will tell you that this means something to me. And I will not blow it off as, oh, this is just retribution, because understand that this was not weaponized against politicians and Republican businesses. This was predominantly used against J6 or actual threats to the United States. I want to know why. And it's easy to say, and go back in our old thing, and everyone get defensive. I have, out of the 9 picks, I have only challenged one. This is the one that I'm challenging, in the sense that I want to know more. Now, if this do not fly and terror watch list thing gets explained, that this was a communique where her name was in it and she got flagged, well, then I want to know. I just want to know. And if it is no big deal, then it's no big deal. And the good thing is that we'll get to hear that. Is Democrats will bring that out. So let me explain what happened here so we all understand. I want you to listen to it because I think a lot of people are running half-cocked. They're going, oh, they're weaponizing, the Democrats are weaponizing the government. I want to hold on that position real quick. I want to wait before we assume that. And let's hear the official story before we defend or castigate her out into the cold. Because when I say I do not trust Tulsi Gabbard, it doesn't mean I don't like her. I don't trust Bill Maher. I wouldn't trust Bill Maher as far as I could throw him. I don't trust Peter Jennings. I don't trust Bill O'Reilly, but I like him. My personal feelings about a human being can be separated into multifaceted emotions. I don't need to be compartmentalized in how I think about people. I trust my wife and I love my wife. Wow, you're really bright. Is it your computer?
No, that screen's off. Computer is normal.
There you go. That's better. We'll put you at 1 from now on because you're just aglow with transient thoughts. Okay, so I want to, I'm going to tell you why she was on the do not list, the D&D list. I'm going to tell you right now because I just got an answer, and I asked, and I got the answer. So here is the elongated version. I am going to skim this. August 2024, there was a report that former U.S. Representative and presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard was placed on the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, Quiet Skies list. And that was a program that was designed to monitor travelers who may pose a security risk. The inclusion led to enhanced security screenings during her travels, including thorough searches and surveillance by federal air marshals. Gabbard publicly criticized this action, describing it as a political retaliation following her outspoken critiques of the Vice President Kamala Harris. She expressed concern over the lack of transparency and due process in her designation, which I agree too. I think it's a horrible, horrible thing to do to somebody. And this is not the terror watch list. This is the do not fly list, to be specific. So I misspoke earlier, at least from what I have right now. She expressed concern and also felt betrayed, especially given her military service. In response, several lawmakers, including Hawaii State Representative and U.S. Congressman Tim Burchett, demanded explanations from the TSA. They questioned the rationale behind Gabbard's inclusion on the watch list and called for her immediate removal from the program. The TSA's Quiet Skies program aims to identify travelers under enhanced screening based on specific criteria. However, the exact reason for Gabbard's inclusion has not been publicly disclosed, leading to the ongoing debates about the program's transparency. As of November 24th, there have been no public updates regarding Gabbard's status. We need to know. And I didn't say in order to prove guilt or innocence. We need to know so we can move forward. This should be a very heavy part of the questioning and the confirmation process, don't you think, Liv?
Yeah.
It needs to be discussed.
Yes.
Hillary Clinton made accusations that she was a Russian asset. That needs to be brought up. We need to find out and disprove Hillary Clinton as a liar. It's not me saying that I don't believe she should get the role. You heard what I said. I think she will do fine in the role if we can get these questions answered. I want a thorough investigation of all intelligence officials, including Tulsi fucking Gabbard. So should you. No matter what Democrats have or have not done, but this was done in 2022. So it's very important to understand that this happened before. When she ran in 2020 in the primary, yes, she attacked Kamala Harris, but Kamala Harris wasn't the great white hope. We know Obama did this to Dinesh D'Souza and sicked the FEC on him. We know that they've sicked IRS agents. We know what they did to Roger Stone. We know what they did to General Flynn. We know what they did to Manafort. We know some of it was deserved, some of it wasn't. I want to know. You should too. So Angel, there you go. Well, they got on her ass because she went against the plan. That's not true. That's not what was said. That's Eric Adams. Everyone assumes because this happened, and I understand that would be a general course, but we don't do assumptions here. Is this a new show for people? Well, since when do we guess and speculate? We can have that conversation as long as you say, let's guess and let's speculate. But what we don't get to do is go, oh, it was vengeance. What if there was a credible piece of intelligence linking Tulsi Gabbard to some nefarious things? Should we not know that? And would that bother you? It would bother the fuck out of me.
Anyone that is serving in the president's cabinet needs to be thoroughly vetted and make sure they don't have anything in their past that they can be blackmailed on or anything. I mean, everything needs to be out in the open, in my opinion.
This is the problem that I don't understand. Melanie says, I agree. She was added after she criticized Biden. I don't know. Why isn't Trump on there?
Because after 97 indictments, that might have been going a little far.
Really? What about Marjorie Taylor Greene? Why isn't she on it? Why isn't Lauren Boebert on it? Why wasn't Rush Limbaugh put on it? Why am I not on it? Why is Joe Rogan not on it? Why is Peter Doocy not on it? If you're going to weaponize it, and it's only because people speak out, why isn't Harold Ford Jr., who spoke out against Biden and Kamala several times, why isn't he on it? Why isn't West Virginia Joe Manchin? Why isn't Joe Manchin on it? He's a Democrat. Why isn't Kristen Sinema on it? She spoke out. Why isn't Dinesh D'Souza on it? Why isn't Tucker Carlson on it? He flew to Russia. Folks, I'm asking you to take a breath, to add up the last 4 years of the fight that I have pushed for us to ask really good questions, and ask yourself, why are you pushing back so hard? You know what the answer should be, more than likely, is yeah, let's find out what's going on. That's what these confirmation hearings are for. Let's find out. And if it is what we think it is, which is Democrats are punishing people who work, then this is going to be exposed. And this is great because it's going to be done in front of America. Wouldn't that be awesome? There are people who deserve it. I believe it was political targeting, but we don't know that because we don't know the reason why she was on it. So how do we know? Is it a gut feeling? Is it just perspective? And if it's perspective, then everyone gets to have their own feelings.
There is a question.
I will answer in a second, especially when she puts in a place of power. It should come to light. We need to know. I agree. Somebody said nope. Karen Vera, wonder where Greenall has nothing on. Not now. I hope my opinion changes. Wouldn't Trump and his people already have checked her out thoroughly? No. Has there been enough time? You understand, Trump and his people can do op-eds, they can do background investigations, they can do, but they do not have the scope and power of an SSBI. As DNI, she is going to be in charge of the most sensitive, compartmentalized information that America has. Should we not ensure that she is vetted properly?
Yes.
Just ask, I mean, folks, this lady was a socialist progressive 2 years ago. Socialist progressive. Worse than Kamala, AOC, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Amy Klobuchar. Worse than all of them. I think we need to ask the question. Don't you? Why not?
Yes.
You have Swalwell, who slept with a Chinese spy. Do you think he should become part of the DNI when they just say, oh, it's Republicans? Just Dianne Feinstein had a Chinese spy driver for 30 years. Should she be on the Senate Oversight Committee? No, she should have, but she was. Should she have been relieved of duties immediately? Yes. Should she have been taken a black bag to Guantanamo Bay or another underground site and interrogated for having a Chinese spy? Yeah, that's what would have happened in the 1970s. It's what would have happened under Reagan. Am I saying that Tulsi Gabbard did any of those things? No, but what I'm saying is this is a much smaller thing, so we should check it out. And everybody should be like, yep, let's do it. Because that's why we do this. If you guys just think that just because somebody puts an R in front of their name or Trump selects them, that they're perfect, I have to really question what we're doing. Because, you know, we're 7 days into this and I'm already frustrated. I told you I would question things on Trump's campaign and his cabinet with choices that I'm circumspect about. This is one of them. You knew it was coming. I mean, Mel even said in the comments, oh, this is going to blow Matt's head up. I'm not blown up. In fact, I think she'll do well at the job. Hear what I said. What I said earlier was that she has a very key eye for global and geopolitics. She is an ardent supporter of our military. She believes in military defense, and she wants to protect America. Okay, that with her qualifications and her experience, I think she can pull off DNI. I do. But it doesn't mean I don't want her vetted. So what we're saying is just, yeah, let's just appoint her. Let's do an out of session appointment for the Director of National Intelligence. Are you what? What? Mm-mm. So we'll talk about out-of-session appointments and what this means. Matt Gate isn't up for the job that President Donald Trump assigned him to. I don't know what that means.
Question.
What?
Okay. Kevin had a question. Could Tulsi have dirt on powerful Democrats? I guess that's kind of in the same line that we were just talking about.
What do we mean by dirt?
I mean, people think Trump's got dirt on the Democrats. Just
if Trump has dirt on the Democrats, then let's act on it. He had plenty of dirt on Hillary Clinton, and he just said no.
Let it go, yeah.
I mean, Anna and Elsa, that son of a bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, folks, why does it... an R in front of your name does not clear you of wrongdoing.
No.
And I don't understand why we think so. Folks, it's us against them. Politicians rarely give a crap about any of us. And this doesn't necessarily change because Tulsi Gabbard put an R in front of her name. I don't buy that. What's the next one?
That was it. But I've seen a couple people say this. They have to wonder if Trump is appointing some of these people.
Yes.
So that if they turn on him, he can fire him since he can't fire a senator or representative.
No.
It's been said a couple of times. So
no. Trump's doing this for a few reasons. I'm sorry, but not the FBI or CIA. But this isn't the FBI and CIA that puts her on that list. So I don't trust the FBI or CIA either. But they don't put her on that list. I'm an independent, and I look at them individually no matter what party they're from. Good. 7 levels above top secret. Right, Amy. Will it be on Motor Trend? Okay. Trump's team would know if there was something to... No, that's not true at all. That's not true. Yeah, Roger, that's not true at all. So you would know what it is because they know. They would have got it out ahead of it and addressed it. This would have been leaked a long time ago. It's probably no reason. It's probably a message traffic with her name in it from some foreign government. It's a stupid, stupid thing, I bet. But let's find out. Have you guys looked at the history of the United States and people who've infiltrated from a spy network, the U.S.? Have we ever... Let's get her down, Liv. Have we looked? Have you... This is impossible. There's no way. Have you actually looked? Have you looked at how many areas we've been infiltrated from a spy network, from all the way down to the British till now? Am I saying Tulsi Gabbard is a spy? No. Am I saying Tulsi Gabbard is a bad person? No. I'm saying she was put on a D&D list, and we need to know why. Why is this so controversial? Doesn't make sense. I think she will still a big lib. I'm not a Tulsi fan. I don't know if she's a big lib. That doesn't matter as much to me as that we need to vet her properly. That's all. Hell no, I don't trust our government in Canada or your country as well. They're ramping up the fear game for bird flu shots. So every single person, every single branch of government is corrupt. Okay. I don't agree with that at all. I'm sure President Trump does. Why? Why would President Trump know what the classification was and we wouldn't have heard that, or Tulsi Gabbard wouldn't have said something? I think what we need to do is stop guessing and start asking questions. And that's what's going to take place when we get to this. What's up?
She's getting the cat because she won't leave me alone.
That's wonderful. Yeah, she's
telling
driving.
her. She's right here.
She's driving me crazy too.
She will not stay up on her thing, and she keeps butting me in the face, and she won't leave me alone. So I love her, but thank you.
Okay. All right. So let's move on. I just want to know, but that's kind of harsh though, isn't it? I don't know what that means. Didn't Gabbard originally change her party affiliation to independent first? Yeah, she did. So she's went from a Democrat, full-on Democrat, progressive socialist Democrat, to an independent, and now to a Republican, all within 2 years. If Tulsi gives Matt some off vibes, it's definitely worth pursuing. Thank you, Renee. I think I would have earned a little bit of trust over these years. So, Matt, why would Trump appoint her if he had questions on her integrity? I didn't say her integrity was questioned. I said I wanted to know. What is so difficult about this? Who said that? I didn't question her integrity. I said I want to know why she's on a D&D list. Without the guesswork. I want the facts. Because I don't fuck around with security clearances. And I don't exactly trust her. Trump doesn't have the best record of appointments, folks. I don't know if you've noticed this. Were you even around in 2016? Do you see the people who he put around him? Every single person who likes Trump knows the answer to that question. I want to make sure the people he appoints are loyal to Donald Trump. I want to make sure that the people who he surrounds himself with don't do nefarious things with foreign countries, because he has been involved with quite a few. He doesn't need that shit in this presidency. He doesn't need that attached to him. He can do basic investigations and op-eds on Tulsi Gabbard. But this has not been addressed, and it will come up in the confirmation hearing. I just don't think you guys understand how intelligence apparatuses work. There will be they will pursue actively to identify why. And they will go through every bank record. They will go through every contact she's ever made. They will look at every flight. They will look at everything that she's done, every communique that she's made. And they will scrub everything. And no, Donald Trump cannot do that. Donald Trump can hire PIs. He can handle former intelligence people, but you are not going to get the thoroughness that the United States government has with their programs and their access. They are very efficient at this.
Can the reasons she's on that list be released to the public?
Yes. Most assuredly. It's under the Freedom of Information Act. Now, if it's classified, here's the thing, it might be redacted, but it depends on the source. So if the source is a classified intelligence official or somebody who's actually, NOC cover in country, and they have to protect that source and it's human, maybe not. If it's electronic intelligence or signals intelligence, something that's been picked up over communication or back channel, fine. It could be a bank deposit that's in question. We don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. We need to know. Oh my God, we need to find out. That's all I'm saying. Wait till you get to the next one with Matt Gaetz, because that's also, we're going to need to find out this. Okay? Do you see what they're doing to Pete Hegseth right now? They're already talking about his marriages. They're already talking about all sorts of stuff, talking about how he says women shouldn't be in combat. All of this is just the beginning. The Democrats do not want this. They're still in power, folks. What makes you think that they can't make it worse? Do you understand? So we need to find out. That's it. Come on now.
When are they confirmed? Are they confirmed after Trump's inauguration or now, before?
The confirmation process can happen before. and it has already begun. So background investigations, everything top to bottom has begun. Now, most of them already have a background investigation if they are currently in office. She's not. So hers would probably still be active from what she had as state legislature if she was involved in any intelligence committees. So I don't think she was. So they're going to run a full scope on her. Now, they have basic background checks. They have SSBIs done. These are single scope background investigations. There are different levels of investigations, and SSBIs are pretty standard. And then you get into more in-depth investigations that we don't need to get into. But these are multifaceted investigations, and they are deep, and they are probing, they're expensive, and they are incredibly detailed. Yeah. She was put on the list a couple days after speaking out against Biden and Harris, but that doesn't mean anything. Thousands of people have spoken out against Biden and Harris. Why Tulsi? It's just a question. You should be asking it. Jim Jordan's was looking into Tulsi's no-fly list, no conclusions. Right. No conclusions. Let's get the conclusion. I remember talking about it, but I don't remember when. I support Israel. Great. With a name like Siegel, who would have thought?
I have a question for you. Why are those backgrounds so expensive? Is it just the manpower to run them?
Yeah, because, okay, so as an SSBI, single scope background investigation, just to get my initial interim clearance for Intel, they spoke to my second grade grade school teacher, Mrs. Ekstrom. They flew to California, they went to the school, they knocked her classroom door and had a conversation with her. They talked to two people who were sitting next to me in a Def Leppard concert. When I smoked pot for the first time, because they knew my brother. So they went to my brother, had a conversation with my brother. My brother said, well, we went to a concert. Who was with you? Well, a good friend of mine named Scott Eichner and Phil Corsi. Okay, thank you. Blah, blah, blah. Then they go talk to Scott Eichner and Phil Corsi and go, hey, Phil, hey, Scott, how you doing? You know Matt Sperry? Yeah, I know Matt Sperry. He's a great guy. Oh, yeah, we used to party, and him and Steve Sparks and Troy Stevens. Oh, okay. I'm going to go talk to Steve Sparks and Troy Stevens. Steve Sparks and Troy Stevens has a sister, and Susie and Terry and Sparky are the family members. So we're going to go talk to Susie, Terry, and Sparky. Once we do that, now we need to go to extended family. And when it's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. And that's just an SSBI. They take almost a year. And I filled out a 37-page form, and my SSBI, when it came back, was almost 700 pages. It had applications to jobs I'd been at. It interviewed managers. It interviewed assistant managers, teachers, everything. So they are $750,000 when I was in. Now they're closer to 1.25 to 1.5. And they have teams working on this information. Thousands of people. And CID and a couple of other agencies work on the background investigation. And they do a very good job, and they're very thorough. And some investigations are by phone, and some investigations are over FaceTime now. But you're in intelligence, they are going to be thorough, and they are going to be up your ass with a microscope. And you better make sure that you've declared everything, because if you haven't, they're going to find out. They will find out. Okay?
Got it.
This is why we don't trust the government. Well, F them then. Who cares? Trump won. Well, I don't know what that means. How much of the info is going to be classified? It depends. It depends what it is. But you can, okay, so say there's a communique that happened between Russian embassy in Cairo. And the Cairo message traffic was flashed with Tulsi Gabbard and a meeting or a call that was supposed to take place. Okay, that's going to get flagged. And her name was mentioned. So they open up a couple lines to this, and they give a couple intel guys onto it, and they start watching this stuff. And then the name's repeated a couple times. And then they find ultimately that there was no there. But maybe the Russians felt that they had some compromising information on her, and they could have flipped her as an intel asset. And they scrubbed message traffic. They found this bit of intel, and then they decided to go ahead and pursue it, and then it just died on the vine. But in that process, it flagged her. Don't let her leave the country. Let's have an extensive search. We want to make sure she's not handling any information. Let's go ahead and put her on that list. They could come back and say, very simply, Tulsi Gabbard's name was mentioned several times in intel communications or open form communications or embassy communications or whatever it would be from a declassified nature, right? They can't go into specifics, what programs they use and such. And there was no there, and ultimately she was removed from the list. The original reason being this, and then it's over. It's over. But you got Hillary Clinton calling her a Russian asset. You've got her on a D&D. You've got her switching parties in 2 years in probably one of the most single-handedly the largest, most important intelligence position in the government. Yeah, I think I'm gonna ask some questions. That's all. Who among us have not been critical of Biden and Harris? Right? Why aren't we all on the do not fly list? Right? I'm uneasy about these two picks. Sorry. Yeah. But I think Tulsi will do a great job if she is clean. Let's get to the last. She supported Bernie Sanders. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Thank you so much, Matt. I hope it all comes out soon. Me too. Hang in there, Susie. Trump has his own plane. Yeah. Anyone serving in the government, period, should be looked up. Looking up online seems there were whistleblowers that came forward, Gail says. Tulsi Gabbard reportedly under TSA surveillance. Why? Opinions expressed by contributions. We may not agree Tulsi Gabbard's position on each and every issue. She was all Democrat throughout her career. We represented Hawaii. Current girl in the Army reserve and everything, so it's a little bit baffling is why she reported on TSA. So it's breaking stories. TSA surveillance program with its own compartmentalized suspect and terror watch list is the same program being weaponized against J6 white sites, allegedly protecting me. That's speculative. That's speculative. I appreciate who wrote this. AP photo. Who wrote this? Where did this come from? By Ward Clark. It's redstate.com. Oh, gosh. Come on. No. Yeah, that's not a legitimate source of information. That's all op-ed. Once again, it's what people are saying. There's nothing factual about that. That's all speculative. I'm sorry. I won't use Red State as the source, Gail. Sorry. Just too many times. I agree everyone should be fully vetted. Good question. I agree with you. Good. Because Trim has a private plane, maybe Trump. Maybe he has a proven visa and IPP status. I don't know. I can't stand Eric Adams. Is there any other questions, baby?
About the majority leader. Lee wants to know, I'm not quite understanding the question.
We'll do that in a minute. We're talking about Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
Right now.
So none that I see about her.
Well, Matt, I think we some weight on you because you are 99.7. 99.7? Tell me where I'm inaccurate. With the info you give, it leaves us guess because your perspective and background information gathering, which is awesome. I know, man, but I'm wondering why you're saying I'm 99.7. I'm just kidding. I'm not accusing Tulsi Gabbard of everything or anything. I want clarification so the accusations that could come from this are put by the wayside. That's all. I want to know. You should too. It's pretty simple. She did a major flip on all ideals. In my humble opinion, if she truly did something so bad that would have jeopardized her security clearance, she would have been in court-martialed. In my humble opinion, it depends on her clearance. And those agencies don't talk to each other. She may not have committed a crime. You have a possible threat, and the TSA and the Army aren't going to have a conversation about that. If she is flagged, there's a reason. We need to find the reason. But she's not going to have her clearance revoked because she gets flagged by the TSA, unless it specifically impacts the military. I think we need to wait, and I think we need to see the reason.
Can Tulsi, being the person that's on the don't fly list, can she request an FOA as to why?
Yeah, you can request all you want, but the problem is there's no clear indicators on how to get off the fly list. That's the problem with it. That's why red flag laws suck. Yeah, we just need to know. That's all. Tim says, totally disagree, Matt. I don't know what you're disagreeing with. So tell me why. What are you disagreeing with? Because I've said a lot. Hulk Hogan for U.S. Senator. Let's go, brother. Maybe. Mike Blankman, technically speaking, Bigfoot can. Why didn't Garland explain why she got put on this list? because it's not his responsibility to do that unless he's questioned. He doesn't have to answer that question. He's going to have to answer that question now. Folks, once again, the question needs to be asked. That's all. And it needs to be answered. She doesn't need to answer shit. They need to put people in front who are going to be subpoenaed to speak about her on her behalf, and they're going to ask the question. Director of TSA will be asked the question. And if he says, unfortunately, I can't release that information due to the sensitive nature of it, well, then we need to have a closed-door session. And we need to sit those people inside, and they need to brief the Senate Oversight Committee and the Intelligence Committee so we can find out what the fuck's going on. If they say, this is why, this was a technicality because of some communique that took place or a deposit that took place or her name was brought up in an investigation, well, then fine, then we move on. I want to know. So should you. I still want to know. Totally disagree, Matt. Why? It's nice that people say that, but tell me why. Tell me why you disagree. The attack on Kamala Harris during the presidential debate. I'm sure it will be found out when she goes through investigation. Yeah, that's my point. Actually, I think Trump will fire their ass real quick if it goes south, so to speak. I'm following the crazy socialist platforms. There's
a few questions, but not on Tulsi Gabbard, just so you know.
I know.
Different
cage them.
subjects.
I got to get through this. This is why I've been asking who is going to be in Trump's cabinet. I've asked this for over a year. Looking at Trump's picks in the last term, he is too easily. Damn it. These things keep kicking. I'm losing them. You do really good at trying to explain things, but some people need pictures. No, it's not that. Okay, Trump's been out for 4 years. They're sick and tired of people picking on him. This isn't me doing that. I call balls and strikes. If this was Joe Biden and we had a situation that this happened, what if it was Liz fucking Cheney? What would you want to do? If Liz Cheney was going to be the DNI and she was put on a no-fly, would you want to know? Fuck yes. You would be clawing your eyes out.
Here's a thought. Trump may need to have someone on the list that can be turned down by the Senate just as a political move. Could she be a sacrificial lamb?
That's a wonderful question. No, I think the sacrificial lamb is Matt Gaetz. But I thought that, and now I'm over it because Matt Gaetz just resigned.
I guess somebody said Lindsey Graham came out and said he will not confirm Matt Gaetz either.
Of course he does. Lindsey fucking Graham. He's a rhino. He's a dipshit. Democrats will slow walk the confirmation process. Well, they can't slow it that way because out of session confirmations are possible. And I'll tell you what that means in a second.
Who was the person that you said you would, on the morning show this morning, you ended it with, I will tell you who I think I want to be in this position on the PM show. Who was it? Secretary of State?
It was Secretary of State.
Okay, because somebody said they're patiently waiting for your opinion on that.
I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not going to give it to you. Because I've already wasted enough time on this. Can you imagine if I say it, what's going to happen? I'm already so frustrated that people are like, oh, just give her confirmation. What? No. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. Pretty soon they'll be crawling up.
I want to know.
I'll tell you later. I'll tell anyone who wants to know later in private. I'm finished up the rest of these. Good topics. I'm going to kill the cat, Liv. Will you please get Olivia or Hayden in here? Olivia Spear, can you ask Matt to explain tariffs to us? Yes, Dawn, we're going to do that later. And don't let me forget, please. Thank you for reminding me. Check out the latest DUM show. Didn't she run for president? Yes. I was really hoping to watch liberal heads spin by Trump giving the attorney general to Rudy Giuliani. Oh, that would be a clusterfuck, wouldn't it? I meant to say I don't want to lose her. She has cancer tomorrow. Back to the vet.
Talking about pets, I think.
That's sad. Okay, I think I'm almost done. Matt Gaetz resigned from Congress. Look it up, but that's what somebody just said. TSA has not answered the question at this time. I know that. I think he's relieved he's back. He screwed us all. He knows Trump will clean up his mess. I want to know why that guy didn't agree with me. Just a thought, Trump may need to have someone on the list. Yeah, and that's what I thought Matt Gaetz was for. Patiently waiting for your opinion of who would like for Secretary of State. I'll tell you that in a second. I will. I'm going to tell you who it is, but it's going to be at the end of the show so I can go. Did you just say Gaetz resigned from running for no, not for AG, from Congress? is my understanding. I don't trust Tulsi, Secretary of State. All right, I'll get to it. My God, I'm not a circus performer. I'm not a monkey. I'll get to it. They can say whatever they want. We want to see the original emails who signed up in the paper. Fled for Tulsi. Yeah, that's what I just said. I want to know. I want to know what happened. Can you imagine if nobody would have pulled the thread on the dirty dossier, where we would be? We got to hear it. We got to find out there was a FISA court, that it was illegal, that there was a dirty dossier done by a foreign agent. That's because we asked the questions. I want to know.
Yes, he resigned.
There you go. I will check back out and go back to work. Dawn, let me know when you're back. Did Kash Patel get an appointment? God, I hope not. I don't like Kash Patel. Sorry. I don't like Kash Patel. Tina, I think he just resigned from Congress. All right, so let's get okay.
All right.
It's not Nikki Haley.
I got a question.
Wait, my guess is Nikki Haley for SOS. I've heard Matt talk about how hot she is. I said she's a pretty woman. I said Tulsi Gabbard's a pretty woman. My wife is hot. Tulsi Gabbard. Now, Megyn Kelly? I'm sorry, honey. It was fun married to you. Megyn Kelly comes knocking. That's like if Ryan Reynolds knocks on the door. Hell, I'll leave my wife for Ryan Reynolds. What's your thing? Go ahead. Donations are low tonight, huh?
They are, but
okay.
It's not about Tulsi or Matt.
Okay, we can
I
share.
don't know if you want to.
You're not pushing my buttons, Charity, at all. So nobody has the ability to push my buttons on this show. Sorry, I'm not
Except
being pushed. I'm not. My buttons aren't being pushed. I'm trying to work through some biased people. That doesn't push my buttons. My expression of intensity is because I'm a passionate human being. And when you try to say things calmly and you have to repeat yourself 14 times, sometimes you need to raise your voice a little bit so people really hear what you're trying to say. My buttons aren't being pushed. What implications does that imply? Like, what does it mean that Gates resigned? All right, we're going to talk about that. So let's talk about Gates.
Okay.
Tulsi Gabbard, I think everyone agrees we need to find out what the DND is, and she needs to be fully vetted. This is a very important position. DNI is, she's going to hopefully bring integrity back to it. Okay? That's my goal, is she brings integrity back to the intelligence community, because the intelligence community has lost a shit ton of credibility. Remember when I said I wanted to hear from y'all? I did. And I didn't hear from anybody. Nobody called. Everyone put messages in.
No, but we've got several questions.
All right, give me the questions.
Okay, one question. Can a president fire the vice president if they're not doing the job the president expects of them?
They can request their resignation, but they can't fire him.
Okay. Do you think Rand Paul will get a position? And for SCOTUS, do you think he's saving Cruz and Jordan for it?
Okay, do you want to know who I thought Secretary of State?
Yes.
Fine, I'll tell you Secretary of State. I don't want any shit for it though. And I don't want to hear anything about it from anybody. I'm just going to say it. And if you want to say something negative, you can say something negative. But that's it. Okay? You ready?
Yes.
Kayleigh McInerney. I think that woman is exceptionally intelligent. I think she is a fireball. I think she would command a massive amount of respect. And I don't think one Arab prince could pull the wool or intimidate her. She's young. She, as press secretary, has demonstrated that as Secretary of State, she can negotiate. She can handle a room. She commands presence. And I'd give it to her. I think she earned it as press secretary. I think she was the best press secretary that Donald Trump has ever had. And I think she was fervently loyal to him, and he made a mistake attacking her. And I think she'd make a great...
Why did he attack her?
Because she did not give him a full-throated support. She questioned some of his decisions on his campaign. But I think Kayleigh would be an amazing pick. And I would give it to her in a heartbeat because she's groomable. That's it. How could you say? Well, I read it. Amy Stancombe, yes, she's still under investigation. She is so smart. Takes shit from no one. Yep, great pick. Actually, I didn't expect that. Something to think about. Yeah, my partner. And why didn't I mention it? Because I don't. It's not my place. It's Donald Trump's place, and I trust his opinion. I trust him with Tulsi Gabbard. He sees something, but I want Tulsi Gabbard vetted. That's all. Trump's picks have not necessarily been great. I could see her for Secretary of State. She had a Harvard and a smart constitution for sure. Yep. I would take Nikki first. You would take Nikki Haley for Secretary of State? I wouldn't. Look what Hillary Clinton did with wars, 16 proxy wars. She destroyed Libya. Secretary of State has a lot of power. No, I don't want Nikki Haley. She's a warmonger. You guys said she was. And I told you, how can you say that? Because she's never been in any position to be a warmonger. But the one hesitation I said is she wants to use special forces in Cuba. She wants to, in South America, and she needs to be taken back. And as vice president, she will not have power to declare war. As Secretary of State, she most certainly will. And I don't think that that's a good choice. No, I don't like Nikki Haley for Secretary of State.
All right. Thoughts on Rand Paul? Do you think he's going to get picked? And the SCOTUS cruiser.
Hold on a second. Jessica says she was a great press secretary. That much is true. Don't know how that translate to SOS duties. Because Secretary of State essentially is a glorified lawyer for international policy, and she is a lawyer. And she is well educated and smart, and she has handled the toughest rooms and decimated every reporter. She is absolutely binder organized. She is an organized mind, and she is a multifaceted presenter and communicator. I think Kayleigh McEnerney, I admire her just more than any other woman on the planet besides Megyn Kelly.
How about we just put a giant poster of Megyn Kelly on our bedroom?
Ceiling? Oh, bedroom? I thought here. That's a little weird. We can do a cardboard cutout. We can replace the flag and put Megyn Kelly back there over my shoulder. So I can just go, honk, honk. You know.
Oh, my God.
All right. Still hope Ben Carson. I want Ben Carson for Surgeon General. Give Ben Carson Surgeon General. Why not? Poinsettias are looking. Okay. I agree with Kayleigh would be awesome. What now? I'm really confused. Hi, buddy. Holy shit. Did hell freeze over?
Did you get your jacket?
Wait a second. Wait, what do you mean did hell freeze over? See, why do people do that? Why don't you listen to what I say? I never said I wanted Nikki Haley as president of the United States. Did those words ever escape my lips? No. Did I say that he had to pick her? No, I said it was he would listen, if he would not have adopted his abortion stances, if he would not have went to the center like he did, he would have lost this election. He did exactly what I wanted him to do, to go to center, to soften his policy, to get women, to get minorities. He did that and he won. He didn't need Nikki Haley at that point. But what he did do was bring her back into the fold. And they came home in the end. I just said she was going to be one of the final candidates and possible VP pick, and she was, and so was DeSantis. I picked them both. When you look at Donald Trump, he either could have went to the middle and surrounded himself with moderate policy, or he could have stayed hard right and lost this election. He went to the middle. He didn't need Nikki Haley after all, so that's fine. But I don't want Nikki Haley as president. I wanted Donald Trump to win. That's my point. Not a joke, Tommy. Because I don't take jokes when it comes to this. My word and my structure of how I think, I never want it misrepresented, even if it's in humor. So that's just me, bro. Just who I am. Wait, no, you wanted her for VP. That's absolute fucking bullshit that I wanted her for VP. I'll pay you $10,000 that I don't have if you can find the clip that says, I want Nikki Haley as the vice president of the United States. My comments were that I want Donald Trump to win. And in order for him to win and break the blue wall and work into the northeast of the United States, he's going to need the women and the suburb vote. Nikki Haley gives him that. She performed very well in the blue areas. The primaries were very successful for her, and she had a national average of 21% of the vote. He would be a fool if he doesn't bring those home. Donald Trump called her bird brain and insulted her, and those people stopped moving, and his numbers dropped. Then he stopped, brought her into the fold, and we saw the numbers start to go up. He went moderate and took her abortion policy and started reciting it, a far cry from where he was in 2016. His numbers went up. He started working towards minorities and the jobs that she presented as the blue-collar workers. And he took her best talking points and brought them to the middle. That negated Nikki Haley's worth. Period. Now, do I think Nikki Haley would have been a better choice than J.D. Vance? Yes, I do at the time. And I've already told you I like J.D. Vance right now very much. He's been very, very good lately. Nikki Haley served her purpose. But when you have someone who takes 21% of the primary vote, who could split the Republican Party at least from 0.25%, you gotta, or 25%, you gotta ask yourself the question, what are you going to do to make those votes come back? He did that. Nikki Haley's name has been very rarely brought up outside of the convention. At one point, I thought Secretary of State was going to be a possibility for her, but she wants nothing to do with the Donald Trump campaign, and that has been said on this show many times. To say that I wanted Nikki Haley as vice president, that is incorrect. 100%. I wanted Ron DeSantis as his vice president, and everybody knows that. I thought Ron DeSantis was the best pick. Ron DeSantis doesn't want to be vice president. He wanted to be president. Alas, you got Nikki Haley left. So I can't stand when people misrepresent what I say. So if you're going to do that and you think this is fun to push my buttons or whatever you're doing, you're not pushing my buttons. You're making me reflect on why you watch this show. Truly. Because that is something that frustrates me. Don't put words in my mouth that I didn't say. If Trump needs more positions filled, I'm still jobless. So do I. If you ask Matt with both hands, ask me what? Matt, why do the Republicans have way more intelligent people than Dems? Just Elon alone, probably the 21st century Einstein or Tesla. Listen, I think ultimately that age has an impact on intelligence. And I think there's a difference between intelligence and being wise. And youth has the ability to be intelligent, extremely articulate, but not necessarily wise. And age usually indicates people who move towards the Republican Party. Liv, what do you think? Why do you think there are so many intelligent people in the Republican Party?
I don't know. I would think that your intelligence, your political affiliation shouldn't matter whether or not you're intelligent or not. That should be completely separate, in my opinion. So I don't even think there should be a column for that to be talked about. There's really no point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't like anyone being judged for any reason because of their political affiliation. Their political affiliation is your own to have. Right. Period. No one else should have a say in what you believe politically, and no one else should be able to make you feel like you're any less of a person because of a person you vote for or what your political affiliations are. It should go back to the way in the old days where it was private. Again, I didn't even know what party my parents were involved in until I was old enough to vote. Right. Not a clue. Was not talked about.
Hippies.
I even asked them and they wouldn't tell me. So it needs to go back to that.
Yeah.
It really does.
And I don't know if the Republican Party is more intelligent, right? You can sit here and say that Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and Tim Cook aren't intelligent, and Bill Gates. I would implore you to not underestimate people who are nefarious for doing nefarious things, are renowned for doing nefarious things. Intelligence is about perspective. So just to make sure we understand each other, I don't think that the Democrats are stupid people. I don't think Nancy Pelosi is stupid. I don't think Bernie Sanders is stupid. I don't think AOC, well, that's not true. But I think there's Democrats who are intelligent, but it doesn't mean that they're smart. And it doesn't mean that they're wise. Does that make sense? I think it's common sense versus emotional difference, not actual IQ. I think, EQ, IQ, emotional quotient versus intelligence quotient, for sure. Liberals stopped being liberal and took a hard left. Well, that's the truth. My rights are more important than your feelings. That's what I tell them. And I want to make sure I didn't take offense from anybody. My point is just don't misrepresent what I say. You never saw me with a Nikki Haley sign. You never saw me say Nikki Haley for president. You never saw me say Nikki Haley for vice president. I gave you the best opportunity for Donald Trump to win up until he pivoted after the RNC. And then I haven't mentioned Nikki Haley's name since, except for he's going to need to bring them home. And putting her on the administration is a good idea. Well, he didn't have to bring her home because they came anyway because he went moderate. Donald Trump went moderate. I don't know if you saw this, and he did what nobody else does, or nobody else did from the left. Is Kamala Harris tried to go moderate, but she can't. She can't run away from her policies. She's in the administration, and everyone knows she's a socialist. So it always happens. In primaries, they run hard to the right or left. And in the general election, they move to the center. Trump moved to the center, and they believed him. They believed him. Because his policies didn't change that much, but it was enough to get enough women to come over. And secretly, I don't think women weren't going to vote for him anyway. I think they don't like Kamala Harris. That's the truth. Okay? All right? We good? Holy fuck, this show's contentious tonight. My God. Liv, why don't you say something? I mean, seriously, can you yell at somebody or can you like throw the cat across the room or something?
I already did that.
I did see you do that. All right, let's get to Matt Gaetz. What do you guys think of Matt Gaetz? Liv, do you know who Matt Gaetz is?
I do know who Matt Gaetz is.
What are your thoughts? You saw him oust McCarthy. He led that. He is very much a person who is liked. I like him. He's opinionated. He's smart. He's very smart. He is... DeSantis would make a great Secretary of State, but there's no point. Governor holds more power. I know Secretary of State overall holds more power, but for the presidency, governor he's got a ticket to 2028. And JD Vance is going to have to decide if he's going to be able to get it. I don't know. It really depends on this administration. If they are shit hot, JD Vance has a good chance. I like Matt Gaetz. I like what he did with the Freedom Caucus. I like that he's passionate. I think sometimes he can be really stubborn and impede progress to a point where it goes to a halt.
So he's been nominated for Attorney General?
Yeah, which is the head law enforcement in the land. Essentially, he's the head cop in the land.
Okay.
The problems are some of the allegations against Matt Gaetz. And once again, I'm not spreading. I know they weaponized. I know what the Democrats did. It doesn't matter. This stuff is out there. This is a very prominent position. I know he had some trouble with alcohol and drug use allegations. April 21, House Ethics Committee initiated an investigation into Gaetz concerning allegations of sexual misconduct, illicit drug use, and acceptance of improper gifts and potential obstruction of justice. The probe was paused during a concurrent Department of Justice investigation, but resumed in 2023 after the DOJ declined to press charges. As of June 2024, the Ethics Committee's investigation remains active, focusing on these serious allegations. There were federal investigations into sex trafficking. In late 2020, the DOJ began investigating Gaetz for allegedly engaging in a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl and potentially violating federal sex trafficking laws by paying for her travel across state lines. Gaetz has consistently denied these allegations. In February 2023, the DOJ concluded its investigation without filing charges against him. Despite the DOJ's decision, the House Ethics Committee has continued its investigation into Gaetz. In June 24, the committee expanded its review to include allegations of sexual misconduct, illicit drug use, acceptance of improper gifts, etc., etc., etc. November 13th, 2024, President Trump has obviously nominated him for Attorney General. Now, here's my point. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty, including Tulsi Gabbard. And when you apply a do not fly to her, I just want to know why. I want to know why he did it. It doesn't disqualify her. Even if there was reason to do it, she still needs to be in front of a judge, jury, and trial. Otherwise, it's just speculative, and it's someone's do not cut the tags off the mattress allegations. I don't care. I just want to know that she wasn't doing things at a nefarious level that puts our country in jeopardy, or that she's susceptible to blackmail charges. The same thing goes with Matt Gaetz. I want, in my opinion, he's not guilty of anything. You accused him of charges. So I want to know. And that's not too much for me to ask. Really, your gut tells you he's okay? No. My gut doesn't tell me he's okay, but I don't charge people on my gut. I ask questions, and I want to know. I want to know what the ethics committee has found. I want it open. I want him questioned, and I want him asked. Now, if this guy, if he resigned from state legislature, that is a fairly confident move, considering the protections that state legislation grant him. He's very intelligent in the law. He's a master litigator. He constitutionally understands, and he hates government bureaucracy. I think that he will go after. We have a lot of donations, babe. He will go after and get to the bottom of a lot of this. But is this pick a smart one? No. No, it's not. This is probably one of the most polarizing figures in Washington. He's a good dude. I have friends who are friends with Matt Gaetz, and they love him. And I like him too, from what I've seen. I get frustrated by some of his antics. But let me ask you a question. And I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to think about that Kamala Harris runs in 2028. And she wins. And this is a nightmare, not a dream. And she has to put her attorney general pick up. Now, close your eyes. Do what I ask you to do. Yes, Gaetz was the one pushing for single issue bills. Yep. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to think the following. Kamala Harris runs. She wins 2028. Thank you, Mel. She's making her federal appointments. Okay. And she announces her attorney general. Are you ready? I, Kamala Harris. am going to pick for attorney general Adam Schiff. Thank you, Joanne. If they picked Adam Schiff, you all would be melting the fuck down. And I would be too. I mean, melting down. He is the equivalent to Adam Schiff on the left, to the right. He is hated by the left as much as Adam Schiff is hated by the right. And that's as far as it goes. Adam Schiff is a conniving douche plow. Matt Gaetz is conniving. And I don't think he's a douche. But I think he puts himself in front of the party at times. I love the idea of single issue bills as well, but that's not something Matt Gaetz has to do. That's something that they have to do in the House. Do I think that he is a unbiased, blind judiciary? No. And if we're so upset about the weaponization of Merrick Garland, who was so pissed off that he didn't get his SCOTUS nomination and confirmation, that he then weaponized the DOJ for Biden and paid back all the people responsible, then why are you okay with Matt Gaetz, who most assuredly would do the same thing? He doesn't lie like Shifty Shift. We don't know that, Gail. We're going to find out. I don't trust politicians. This is nothing new. And I can like somebody and not trust them. I've already said it. Do I trust Gaetz? I am way more trustworthy of Matt Gaetz than I am Adam Schiff. Do I think that Matt Gaetz wants the corruption in Washington to stop? Yes. Do I think he will do it expeditiously? Yes. Do I think he'll do it fairly? I don't think so. I would have preferred Mike Lee. Yes.
Who's Mike Lee?
Mike Lee is a senator and a good human being, and so is Matt Gaetz by all intents and purposes. I don't know. We're going to find out. But if these investigations come back and there is merit to them, he did get McCarthy axed. I've met Kevin McCarthy.
He was nice.
He's a very nice man. He represented Bakersfield, California very well. My family's there. I don't have a problem with Kevin McCarthy. I never did. I thought the expectations that they put on Kevin McCarthy were pretty shitty, to be honest with you. I think we need to wait and see. I think this appointment, I've been doing this a long time. And I'll just be honest with you. I didn't see this happening because this idea was so far from a possibility 4 hours ago that I wouldn't even have considered it. Not in a million years. Matt Gaetz was not on my bingo card in any way. He wasn't even in the same hall. He wasn't even in the same town. He wasn't even in the same state. He wasn't even in the same country. He wasn't even on the same fucking planet as my bingo card. Do I think he gets confirmed? I can't see how he possibly gets confirmed unless they do an out-of-session confirmation. Liv, do you know what that is?
No.
Folks, we are a show that is raised by you as far as finances. We're at $102.47. We're about $148, $147 into for 43 cents, 53 cents away from hitting our goal today. Would love to continue to hit that. We're in the bottom half hour of the show. If you could help us out, please do. Don't put yourself in any type of pickle. But if you have the ability, go to thedumshow.com/donate. Facebook took all of our money. They don't fund us anymore, and we have you to help us out. We have hit our goal for many, many, many months in a row. We want to keep doing that. And we are
148.
147.53 shy. So if you could help out, we'd appreciate it. Let's get to what were we going to get to, Libby?
I have no idea. Well, there was that question about Rand Paul. And then
what was the question about Rand Paul?
Do you think he's going to get picked for anything?
I would have, honestly, Secretary of State would have been okay with me. I want Mike Lee for Attorney General. And the problem is that there's like 3 other people for Attorney General, and all of them are going to do the same thing. So we should basically confirm Matt Gaetz if those allegations aren't true. And
okay, and then the other one was, do you think Jordan or Cruz are being held back for SCOTUS nomination? That was the question.
I think it's very possible that Cruz would be considered for a SCOTUS nomination. I don't think Jim Jordan gets it because of the University of Pennsylvania allegations.
And then who is Mike Lee? Because I don't know.
The senator.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
From where?
I'll show you. Is it Arkansas? No. Maybe. Hold on. Where the hell is he from? Maybe it's Utah. I don't know. Let me look. I think it's Utah. You've seen him.
I'm sure if I've seen a picture of him.
This is Mike Lee. Liv. This is Mike Lee.
Oh, okay, I know who he is.
Yeah, it's Utah. I'm pretty sure. Almost 120%. He's not Asian, honey. Don't be racist.
I didn't say that. I said I know who he is.
Yeah, you saw Lee and you were like, oh, he Asian.
No,
He loved me
you know
long
what?
time. $2
That
make me
didn't
holla.
I didn't even think it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you give us $2, Mike Lee will make you holla long time. Tubuku, tubuku.
Oh, have you heard if there's any plans for RFK?
I said that they were going to I think they'll probably create like a Department of Health and Safety Services or something like that. I think there already is a Department of Health and Safety Services. If that's the case, then yes. Yeah. Yeah, I would see him going into that. So do I see RFK going into health and human services or something like that? Yeah, that would make sense for him to be the director of NIH. No, I don't. I think you need a microbiologist. I think you need a chemist. Yeah, I think you need somebody with a PhD.
What's NIH?
National Institute of Health, but
Okay.
Fauci's position. I don't think RFK.
Fauci,
I
yeah.
don't think RFK is qualified for the Fauci. Kennedy to FDA would be good. Food and Drug Administration, yeah, or the HHS,
HHS?
Health and Human Services. I think
Thank
is what
you.
it's called.
Okay, you're going to have to, all
Sorry,
the acronyms
sorry,
you're going to have
sorry,
to tell me
sorry,
because I don't know.
sorry. So yes, the president does assign NIH. That was a question. So National Institute of Health. It is director assigned is by Trump. With Trump selecting all these people from elected positions, who is going to take their seats? Tom, that's a great question. So I'm letting you know that nobody who is selected are in vulnerable districts. None of them. Zero, zilch, not a no. So Trump's not stupid. These are people, what's going to happen is there'll be a special election. Now, the problem is that the votes they may not have the votes to pass certain pieces of legislation at the beginning half of his administration. He's got 70 days, 66 days, something like that. 67 days left. So can they have special elections? No. But that's why Gates resigned now. So what you will see is governor will submit a name. And in that case, in some places can fulfill that role as an interim basis until an election comes up within a certain period of time. And if it was somebody who was recently at the beginning of their term, they would do a special election. And then it would be red versus blue. Now, here's the thing. Democrats would need to get a candidate. They would need to prop them up. A lot of times these are uncontested areas. You look at Elise Stefanik, and she was in a plus 15 red area. 67% is what she got in her vote. You're not going to lose that seat. So they made sure that they pulled people from predominantly strong areas. So although it will impact the vote in the early onset of the administration, but Congress only comes into session a certain period of times a year. So it very well could be that these special elections are held within a certain time frame. I believe it's 90 days usually is about as fast as you can make it happen, and we'll see. Take over Rachel Levine's. Listen, you've got to appoint a surgeon general, right? So Ben Carson makes complete sense to me. You put Ben Carson in that position, I think that would be an amazing position. That's about it. Any other questions?
Not that I've seen.
Okay, Pete Hegseth or whatever his name is. I love Pete. I think Pete is going to be fine. He was one of the most controversial picks. I think that pick is going to be fairly easy. 2 Bronze Stars, Harvard, 2 different business degrees. Our political science degrees. The guy's fucking genius. He's going to be fine. I would think Pete Hegseth would be a breath of fresh air as Secretary of Defense. I think he can do a great job. I like Pete Hegseth, and he's pretty much impeccable. And his reputation amongst the community is strong and good. Folks, we're at 102.47. Desperation time is happening. We're only 22 minutes away from jumping offline. If you could help us out, we'd appreciate it. Let's get into some other stuff. So that is my assessment. I want us here. Let's wrap it up. Tulsi Gabbard, I just want her vetted, and I want the questions answered about the do not fly. Okay. The DNF is important to me. I want to know why. With Gates, I want the Senate Oversight Committee and the investigatory body that is investigating him with the ethics committee, I want that presented. I want it out in the open, and I want to know, did he do some things that were bad? And if so, you need to put charges against him. And if he didn't, then you need to drop that shit and say it in open hearing and move him and confirm him. It doesn't matter. You go ahead and take out Matt Gaetz. You're going to put in Mike Lee. Take out Mike Lee. You're going to put in, I think, Dennis. I don't remember his name. There's plenty of people who are going to follow in Matt Gaetz' shoes and carry the executioner's axe for Donald Trump. I did not know Pete Hegseth. The only thing I know from Pete Hegseth is I know a couple of people, especially SEALs, who swum across with him, the harbor with him annually, did the 9/11 run with him. And we sent him a wooden flag from Flags of Valor. Yes. That's pretty much it. Do you like Tulsi for intelligence? Sorry, I came in late. Brian, it comes down to this. I want the questions answered about her do not fly and the accusation from Hillary Clinton that she was an asset of Russia. I want to hear that shit needs to be talked about in an open forum. Not that I agree with it. That's what I want. All right, let's move on. Let's get some videos up here and do something a little light. You guys exhausted me tonight. My God. Buttons weren't pushed, but definitely exhausted from, man, it was already a brutal morning. I mean, guys, you got to understand. I mean, I was on for 3.5 hours today, and then you're just browbeating me over this Tulsi thing. I didn't expect people to. Do I need to go over her positions from 2020s or remind you guys who she was? No? I mean, we already allowed Dave Rubin to come over. Right? We don't have much room on our party. Let's hold off for a second. You're welcome, Michael. Do I think people will burn buildings down? I don't think people like Kamala Harris enough to do that. And I think they remember what Donald Trump did, and everything they did was all for show. The whole Nazi thing, and I don't think people believed it. I think there's a very large group that hates him, but I don't think black people and Mexicans are our problem. I think it's white liberal women. And those bitches don't riot. Those bitches sit home and get on their period and eat a shit ton of chocolate and Cheetos and talk about hating men. That's what I think. I love Ben. Me too. I love Ben Carson. Hakeem Jeffrey has been pretty silent these days. He'll remain that way. He needs to go away. Schumer, Pelosi, Jeffries, they need to skin them alive. Get them out of the party. Matt, I appreciate you. I learned from you. Thank you for your... Oh, sure. I'm not mad. I wasn't mad at anybody. I hope Ava Lynn's not mad at me. I was just like, dude, don't say something that I didn't say. I never said Tulsi or Nikki Haley for vice president is what I want. I thought she would have done a good job, and I still hold on to that. Plus, she brought the vote for Trump.
Is Dawn back yet? Because you need to explain tariffs. I want to make sure she's on first.
Get back here. And if she is, we'll talk about. I did promise her tonight that I would do it. Let me show you out of session appointments and what that means, if that's okay with everybody.
Yes.
If I can find my notes. Okay. I can't stand Cori Bush, me neither. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so this is important. It's going to be a little, it shouldn't be too confusing, but it's going to be interesting. Folks, if you have not had a chance, go to the Don't Unfriend Me Show /donate. We are desperately in need, 17 minutes away from missing our first goal since we started the nightly donations. Out of session confirmation, also known as recess appointments, occur when the government official is appointed while the legislative body responsible for confirming such appointments is in recess and not actively in session, which means they're home. The procedure allows the executive branch to, I don't know, temporarily fill the vacancies without the need for immediate legislative confirmation. So they could appoint these people without confirming them through the legislative body by using the point that this is dire to national security and they are not in session. Finally, I'm gaining on my numbers. The president can make those appointments under the Constitution during recess. And the reason why is the recess lasted a lot longer, almost a half a season back in the old days. And they have more frequent sessions than they used to. It allows the appointee to serve temporarily, typically until the end of the next legislative session. However, they must eventually go through the confirmation process. So this could be a way to vet candidates that people are trepidatious about and put in somebody and say, oh, well, look, since you've been out for this long, they've been doing the job, and here are their results. The recess appointments are sometimes used strategically to bypass the confirmation process, though. Now, there are ways for, thank you, Bobby Richardson, coming in the clutch, that a girl. Bobby does a lot of heavy lifting for the show, folks. She can't do it all by herself. She is an amazing human being, and everybody who helps is. So, and once again, don't feel bad. If you can't, we just have to continue to ask, because if we don't, it won't happen. Because my wife is so good looking, you guys just keep staring and you forget to donate. So that's the way it works.
Something tells me that's you.
Whatever. So, oh, Renee, I'm so glad you love them. That's awesome. I'm glad you got your Documents of Freedom. The Documents of Freedom right here. Thank you, Jesus. Documents of Freedom. Dude, one of the best sellers that we have has all the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence, Documents of Freedom over at thedumshow.com. Get them before Christmas, because they're not going to be in stock much longer. So here's the thing, though. So, Liv, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If you did that out of session, a recess confirmation, what's a way that you could stop that if you're the Democrats? Tell me, think of something. Just start walking down the path, and everyone can participate if you would like. How do you think they stop that? They have to confirm if Congress is in session, right? Mm-hmm. But if they're not in session, they don't have to confirm. Now, what does in session mean? Let's define it.
I would think when they're in Washington, D.C., making rulings on bills and stuff
how
like
many?
that.
How many is required to be considered to be in the session?
Half?
Nope. Keep going.
Higher or lower?
You're so cute. Lower.
I was going to say warmer or colder, and
Lower.
then I realized that's not going to work.
Lower.
A quarter?
Lower.
Like 10?
Lower.
1.
That is correct. Folks, you can go over to PayPal, donate. All you got to do is head on over to thedumshow.com, just like this, dumshow.com, on your phone. Beautifully rendered, ready for you to go. PayPal, you can mail it, or you can go ahead and use Venmo. We've done that all for you. And you can find out where your donation's going and what it means. We get 100% of those donations minus taxes, which unfortunately is 40%. But that's the way it is. No, they can't call an emergency session. That's not the way to do it. Because this is the way it would work. You call an emergency session, then they leave, and then they go ahead and do it out of session. So it's way too expensive. Thank you, whoever did it.
Lisa.
Lisa Maurer. She's new. Thank you, Lisa Maurer. That's what we're talking about. Thank you, everyone helping out. That's what we're talking about. It can't just be a couple people. Bobby has given so much. Mel has given so much. Kevin's given so much. Kim gives so much. Ashley gives much. The Amy's, everybody chips in. Thank you so much for helping out. We appreciate the new donations. And listen, if 10 people, 15 people give $20, boom, we're there. If they give $10, $5, $1, whatever you can do, it helps out. Now, Liv,
yes.
One person. So you don't call an emergency session. Why? Because you have to fly everybody in. That gets expensive. It's a waste of time, and you're going to piss everybody off. So if there's only one person to be in session for Congress, what can you do?
Just fly one person in and have that person, don't confirm them.
Do you need to fly somebody in?
I guess you could Zoom call them.
No, that's not the way. They have to physically be in D.C. But what's very close to D.C.?
Maryland, Virginia, Delaware.
And
Pennsylvania.
That's correct, Liv. Yeah. And do they have Democrats there who are in the Senate and House? Yes, they do. And literally a 20-minute drive away. So this has actually happened before. There was a gentleman named Shaw, and I don't remember what year it was. I think it was the 70s some odds. And in order so they could not push confirmations through during out of session, they, and Liv, you listening? Because it's important. Yes. They and several politicians showed up for like 2 hours a day and would sit and then go home in the hours. And it kept session in Congress, or it kept Congress in session, so they couldn't do out of session confirmations. very clever strategy. I anticipate that the Democrats will do the same, and it's just interim anyway. So it's honestly, they're going to have to be confirmed. We can't cheat our way through this. We don't want to do that. That's
I
not.
would not want to cheat. I want them to be confirmed. They need to
Yes.
go through it.
Yep. 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 It does. But that's just a little history for you. So a recess or out of session can be done by one person, and this is very similar to the filibuster. Now, Liv,
Yes.
you've watched West Wing.
Yes.
The way the filibuster used to be is that, thank you, Chevelle. We're getting close, folks. We are $55.48 away. So the filibuster used to be that you would actually have to talk and keep talking and not sit down for an elongated period of time. And that was what the filibuster was. You would fill it with time.
Okay.
And now the filibuster is simply just a 60-40 split. Very much different than what it used to be. I think that confirming in recess is a stupid notion. I think if your administration truly is picking a strong candidate, you should want them vetted. You should want them thoroughly investigated for who they are. So confirmation process, like I thought Pete Hegseth was going to be tough, but now there's bigger fish to fry. Democrats are going to go after Gates. They are. I don't see Gates getting confirmed. I'm just telling you right now.
Maybe that's why he did it. So Pete was
but
kind of skates in under the.
But the problem
limelight.
is that Gates resigned his position. That is what is baffling me. Like if I was Gates, I would not have done that.
Because if he doesn't get confirmed, then he doesn't have a seat anymore, correct?
Right, but he also has a spot on Fox News if he wants to. He may just leave Washington after this. We don't know. But I think it's very interesting for, hey, Joseph, thanks, buddy.
Maybe he got a job offer.
Joseph,
and that's probably maybe.
Yeah, he did, Attorney General. And
Well,
trust me, Attorney General is going to make $150,000 an hour on the lecture circuit. So he's going to be able to go to every single school, he'll be able to travel internationally. I mean, Attorney General they make good money.
that's the top law person, right?
Yeah, head law enforcement land. And even though Harvard and all there are professors who will bring him in and pay him the money. So that's it. Thank you guys so much. We're getting close. We're really, really close. Thank you so much for helping out. That's it. So I hope that answers all your questions about this. There's a lot. My gut is Matt Gaetz doesn't get confirmed. I think Tulsi Gabbard's going to be a little messy. I think Democrats are a little sour on her, but I think she squeaks through. I think Pete Hegseth squeaks through. I think Secretary of State glides through, and like Marco Rubio will glide through, like a San Francisco gay man having sex with a torpedo. It's right through there. I don't expect any of his other confirmations, but I do, Ben Carson for Surgeon General, yeah. RFK for NIH director, maybe. Food and Drug Administration might be challenged, but overall, we'll have to see. He's not a doctor. He's not a nutritionist. But look at RFK, and you tell me that he's not a physical specimen that deserves to be revered.
What about Musk? Didn't he get promised?
He's with the DOGE, which is the Department of Government Efficiency. And him and Vivek will be co-chairing that group, and it is a third-party non-government entity. It's going to start out that way. So they basically are going to oversee. So there's that. Thank you, Lord. See, this is how we make it happen. You don't need to give your arm and a leg. If everyone helps, it helps. Laura, thank you so much. Everyone pitches in, we crush it. That's what happens, and I love you for it. Thank you, everybody. I wasn't grumpy tonight, by the way. I hope Evelyn's okay. I don't think I was mean to Evelyn, was I?
No.
I just think I was assertive. Sorry. I don't try to be that way, but sometimes I get inundated with a bunch of information. I think that's it. Okay. So thank you, Gerald and Bobby Richardson. Look at you guys. Somebody was asking me the votes to confirm a candidate for Senate and House. It's simple majority, which is 50 plus 1 or 237 plus 1 or whatever it is now. What's the split in House of Legislation? Is it 240, 230? Will you look it up for me real quick?
Yeah,
430, 427, 437, something like that.
One second.
What are you doing?
Donation.
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
How many House of Reps are there? Thank you, Catherine. So that's new. Thank you.
No, she's not. She's donated before.
435. So you would need 217. 218. So yeah, it's 218 because that's what it is for seats. So the majority. So you would need a simple majority plus 1. So that's it. So 217 plus 1 would be 218.
This one's new. Never donated before.
Gail,
so
thank you, Gail.
Appreciate it.
You're the best. Thank you guys for hitting our goal. You are loved and appreciated. God bless everybody who donated. Thank you so much. So yeah, a simple majority is all that's needed. And something to think about. Okay. Tariffs, but we don't have Dawn. Is Dawn here?
I don't know. She hasn't said anything.
As soon as Dawn says something, we can hit her. Looks like Chevelle was just in there. It looks like Chevelle and Joanne. Did you get Joanne and Chevelle? Joanne and Chevelle?
I got Chevelle. Yeah, I got them both.
Okay.
If you're talking about Venmo,
Venmo,
yes.
I am. Yeah.
Yes.
So, where are we at in the house? Okay, we can do that. It's a busy night, man. I'm a monkey. I'm a circus performer. That was like your thing this morning. What you did. What voice did you make? You did a laugh of some sort.
I don't know, but I remember asking you if a helicopter flew by.
Yeah, you don't want me to tell you what it was. I didn't tell you. You farted. You woke yourself up.
No, I was having a dream because I know my alarm went off and I hit snooze. No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You cranked ass. It was horrible. And I was like, oh, God, it sounds like they're crop dusting, too. Okay, I'm kidding. Presidential election results. We're going to go to the House. The House is officially one away. I told you, they're going to win the House. Don't worry. Right now, we are sitting at the following. Let me show you. And then I've got some things we might go 5, 10, 15 minutes over.
Yeah, kind of waiting for Dawn because I know she really wanted
Yeah,
to.
we're going to give you some bonus time. Sorry. As you can see, 208 to 217. The chances of us not taking the House are slim to zero. There's 2 races where we're plus 10%. So it's just a matter of time. Just letting you know, folks. Relax.
We're at 217?
Yeah, we've got it. It's ours. Governor, 27 out of 23 we lead. So we're going to have the governorship or the gubernatorial. We're going to have the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and the Supreme Court. So, folks, and the ability to appoint a shit ton of federal judges because they're not going to get all those appointments done. So there's like 47 judges that we can appoint in the first 60 days. Okay. Any questions? Good. Let's go to next. When Dawn's here, I can explain tariffs.
Yes.
It was a busy night, man. I feel like we've covered a shit ton of stuff.
And if for any reason I don't see her, we'll just have to do it tomorrow.
Okay. That's fine. Listen to this. This is a CNN data. First of all, I think every pollster and every analyst should be fired. You guys have fucked up 3 elections in a row. You've fucked up primaries. You have fucked up midterms. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You guys suck. And this guy was wrong about everything. And I spanked you, Dippy the dipshit. I noticed he got a haircut. He got a haircut from me too. I broke his shit down and dude, I crushed this guy. Remember, he's like, oh, well, 16 elections, blah, blah, blah. And I said, that doesn't mean shit. Roulette wheel was right. Here we go.
How historically slim are we talking?
How slim are we talking? Not as slim as I am, but let's run the numbers.
Oh my God. I just want to beat him. I just want to beat him into a pulp. I want to put him in ICU. Just ICU. Why?
Not funny.
No.
The GOP
All I can say is gay.
leads in just 222 House races. Of course, we haven't called all of those yet, but they lead in just 220.
All right. Now you guys get to tell me, is this a roulette wheel? Okay. Or is this a door? You guys remember this the game, right? Roulette wheel is just random numbers on the board.
The fucking roulette wheel. Really?
Listen,
Do we really have to bring up the roulette wheel again? I don't like the roulette wheel. No, stop. You're fine.
It was a good analogy. It's not my fault. You're stupid. Oh. Now we get to zoom on Olivia's face. Don't throw shit. Stop throwing shit. Oh, it's a friendship bracelet. Thank you. Thank you, sweetie. I'll be your friend.
Oh, goodness. Does it say mom on it?
It says
probably,
mommy.
It probably does.
All right.
Oops, it got dropped.
Okay, so roulette wheel. Lockbox. Roulette wheel is a good analogy.
Strategery.
You get to tell me if it's door or roulette wheel, okay?
How small is that, Kate Baldwin? How small is it? The GOP may have a record small House majority at the start of a Congress. I looked at all the House majorities at start of Congresses going back to when we had 50 states. Remember, Alaska and Hawaii were the last two that were added. 222, which is the amount they lead in right now, would tie for the lowest. But of course, we haven't called all those 222. I was looking at a few races in California where Republicans lead that might go the other way. If we get down to 221, that would be the lowest ever going back to since we
And if my grandmother had balls, she would be my grandfather.
had 50 states. And of course, it could drop even lower given that Donald Trump has decided to pluck a few folks from the House for his cabinet, Stefanik and Waltz, of course. So the bottom line is we are talking razor thin at this particular point, looking at what the House might look like come January.
Is it razor thin?
It is razor thin.
Is this a real word, Congresses?
Sure, why the heck not?
I cover Congress
Underdead
Congresses. I have
Congresses.
never written Congresses in anything.
I go through, that's a source
The plural for Congress is
Congress.
Congress, you stupid fucking moron.
for us looking for words that are infrequently used.
That's the...
Don't even get me started.
No, Jane goes, news break. We still have 50 states, dipwad. Yeah, we still... He needs to shut up and not be on air anymore.
Yes.
You
That's why I
are
bring him to the American.
Yes.
just stupid. I could do a better job than you. My God.
You're welcome. Back to the news.
But, getting a job at
what
CNN
would this
doesn't mean you have to
historically
have a
let's
high
listen to
IQ.
this.
majority
Let's listen
mean
to this
for
dumb fuck.
The Republican agenda what the Republicans in the House want to do, which also means Donald Trump's agenda.
Yeah, so, we could get a pretty decent idea by looking at this past House, right? Because this past House had a very thin majority, very similar to the one that I think we're going to be looking at come this January. And guess what? How many bills did this GOP House pass? The fewest in 50 years, down 40% versus the 50-year average. So the bottom line is when you're working with such a thin majority, it's awfully difficult to get things passed just through a Republican House because although the Republican conference is pretty united, there are still a few folks on either the center part or the far right who might be able to throw something come the other way when you have such a small majority to work with.
Yeah, just look at last time. I mean,
Yeah.
What does all of this then mean for special elections that are sure to come during early in the Trump term?
Yeah, we already believe they're going to be too. Look, Waltz's seat is safe. Stefanik's seat probably won by Donald Trump by about 20 points. We're still waiting for the final numbers to come in.
Terry, remind them why you're talking about that. These are current members of Congress that are
Correct.
joining the Trump White House and the Trump administration.
Correct. Waltz to be the National Security Advisor, and then Stefanik to be, of course, the UN Ambassador. Yeah. And look, Stefanik's seat, as I was mentioning, probably won by Trump by about 20 points, maybe a little bit more. We're still waiting for the final numbers to come in. I'm not sure that seat is necessarily safe. The Waltz seat most definitely is, because I would just want to look at special House elections in 2017 and 2018. In the median district, in the median election, the Democrats outran Clinton's margin by 15 points, including flipping a seat in Southwest Pennsylvania that Donald Trump won by 20 points. So the bottom line is when you get these special elections...
Oh, shut the fuck up. Liv, tell him. Is it a roulette or is it a door?
I'm so fucking confused by what he said. He just like put me into a
what
brain
he's saying
stupor.
is because in 2016 up until 2020, blue counties flipped districts. And he's saying because the flipping of districts took place during those times, that these seats that are open from Donald Trump polling from the Senate and Congress, that they will flip those too, because it's precedent and it's happened in the past. Is that a roulette wheel or is that a door?
Could you please use hockey references? Because
there is no hockey references for living. This is really simple. The door means it's an educated guess by removing the things that are in your way versus spinning a wheel and seeing the number come up once and going, it's due. It's going to come up again.
It's the wheel.
It's the wheel. Everyone else got it. Judy Gurley's like, he's spinning the wheel.
Oh, I could have just read that.
It's a good analogy. It really is, because I demonstrated with the books and you're like, oh my God, that totally made sense when you showed me. So you can't base the electorate on the past. It doesn't work. It doesn't work in sports. It doesn't. I don't care what the Brooklyn Dodgers did. Okay? I don't give a shit. Brooklyn Dodgers swept the Yankees. Well, guess what? The Dodgers didn't sweep the Yankees. It was 4-1. So that precedent means nothing. So now the next Yankees and Los Angeles series are going to say, well, the Los Angeles Dodgers met the New York Yankees twice, and both times they're 8-1, which means they'll win again. No, different teams. By the way, special elections, yes, they did very good from 2016 to 2022. They didn't do well in this election. So as long as these aren't swing state seats and they're protected seats, they'll be fine. Matt Gaetz will be fine. He's from Florida. Walz is in is like a plus 20 district. And Stefanik is in a plus 15 district. They will be fine. Yes, it's Wheel of Fortune. It is the stupid roulette wheel. Okay? Simple. Great. Liv.
Yes.
You'll like this one. Here it is.
I'm not. This is my last political post, okay? I'm gonna lay it to rest. Let me just tell you guys. I'm not crying happy tears. I'm not gonna be apologetic for being excited, because if it was the other way around, all of the KAMALA supporters would celebrate. I wanna say that first. I'm very relieved because I voted what I believe in, and I felt heavy on my heart that it's the right thing.
First thing, she's pausing when she starts to cry. Good. I don't want to see you cry. Unless I'm beating you, keep that shit tucked away, okay? If I slap you, I want a good cry, all right? Already done told her twice, Liv. I don't know why she won't listen. Fucking gingers. No, she's actually cool. She's cool as hell. I think she's awesome. Listen to this.
So knowing that it was the decision the American people made, I'm relieved and I'm very happy. Very, very happy, okay? It's the very first day of finding out the election results. All of us are happy. I'm very happy. But I'm not going to continue to post about it. But I'm also not going to be sorry about it. And I always talked about how my family, sorry, I don't want to make this more than once. I always talked about how my family had different beliefs, my grandma and my mom and my sister, and how we always got along. And I wore my grandma's sweater to go vote, and I'm so sorry. I'm trying not to cry, okay? But my heart's broken.
Try not to cry.
Yeah, try it. My grandma just sent me a very...
She's had to pause like 20 times. It's ridiculous. I mean, this is hard enough on people, man. That's why this show is called Don't Unfriend Me. It's supposed to be, don't get rid of people because of political views. Just listen to this and you'll understand.
sad text. It broke my heart. And my mom has yet to text me back today.
Am I real?
My point of making this video is to say that I am very happy, and I expressed how happy I was. And I'm not going to be sorry for that. I'm completely heartbroken that my family is taking it how they are. I never did this to them when Biden won. Never. But
Tom, you need to listen to what she's saying. Hold on. Don't be judgmental, fucker.
I am done with political posts. From here on out, it's back to normal. If you don't like me because of who I voted for and you have to unfollow, go ahead. My own family unsubscribed from my life, so you can too. I promise. It doesn't get worse than that.
So her grandmother or mother basically said, you voted for Trump, you're out of our lives. And I'm sorry. I'm not going to get rid of a friend because they support Kamala Harris. Liv, we have personal experience with this.
That's why we started the show, and that's why it's called Don't Unfriend Me. Our kids lost their godparents because I voted for Trump. And yeah, we have experience with this, and it's ridiculous. And that's why I'm so adamant that I don't judge people by their political affiliations. On Wednesday, half of my Facebook feed from friends that I grew up with were sad and I can't believe America would do this. And I didn't say one word on their posts because you know what? They have a right to believe what they want to believe. And I don't think less of them for that. They're not less of a person because they voted for Kamala and didn't vote for Trump. I don't think of them any less. In my eyes, they are the same people they were on Wednesday morning that they were on Tuesday morning. There's no difference. I could care less. I have lost more than just the godparents to my kids. I have lost friends because of who I voted for, because people can't keep their mouth shut, because I don't go on other people's posts or when they are upset about an election result. I didn't go on one post and say, na 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 boo boo, stick your head in doo doo or anything like that. But you would be amazed at how many times I made a post. I remember when Obama won in 2012 and I made a post. All I said was, I'm really sad. And the amount of people that came on that and said shit, it's like, why? Why do you won? Why do you have to rub it in? Why does it matter? And I don't talk to those people anymore. Not because of my own doing. It's because I put them in their fucking place and they never came back.
Language.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't get people. And I blame Obama for this. Again, this is where the divisiveness started. And this is...
it's political divisiveness. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where it started. That's where it started is I'm so adamant that your political affiliations should not come in between your personal life and your friendships and your family. It's just ridiculous. And anyone who abandons a family member, there's a special place in hell for you, in my opinion, for abandoning your family because they are a different political affiliation than you. And they voted for a different person. You're all going to go to fucking hell. That's my opinion.
Wow.
I don't like it.
Jeez, obviously. It's pretty...
I do not like them.
I do not like green eggs and ham.
I want that girl on the show. I really do. I want to.
Then go get her.
I don't know who or she is. I've never even seen her. Yes.
Did you just call her a whore?
No, who she is.
You called her a whore.
Whore. I don't even know who she is. You're going to have to give me her name.
Here is...
I don't surf Twitter ever.
Okay, here's Waltz's daughter. She's seething. She's not coping very well. So Timmy Walz's daughter has something to say. We're going to end the show on this.
Okay, I'm sitting here on my couch eating SpongeBob mac and cheese and watching Outer Banks, and I just have a couple initial post-election thoughts. I've officially reached a point of anger, and I'm not an angry person, so I'm just trying to channel it. The first one being, this country does not deserve Kamala Harris. That woman should go live her best life wherever she wants, doing whatever she wants, because we don't deserve her at this point. The only people that delivered this election were Black women, and we failed them. And it's just heartbreaking, and we've got to do whatever we can to support them and support our people through these next 4 years. Another one is these people have to live in their own skin as in JD Vance and Donald Trump have to be JD Vance and Donald Trump. And that is not a punishment I would wish upon anybody except those two individuals. Yeah, so I'm just really grateful that I am who I am and that I'm on the side of love and hope and joy and progress.
Side of love and joy and hope and progress. Dude, if I could be a billionaire, I'd live in Donald Trump's skin for a day. My God, jeez. And I don't like her for her political. It's not that I don't like her because she voted for Harris and she's a Democrat. It's because she's stupid. That's why.
There is one more video. I apologize. I didn't mean to.
One more video.
One more video. And this is her daughter after the last 5 days. And we get to get an updated.
Oh, Harris's daughter?
Harris's daughter, 5 days.
Excuse me, stepdaughter. She doesn't
It's not
have
Harris. It's Walls' daughter.
Oh, gotcha.
This is Walls' daughter 5 days after her video. She's eaten a few ho-hos and macaroni and cheese and watching Outer Limits. This is her 5 days after that post. She's given us an updated post. Here it is. Let's make sure I give this to you right. Here you go.
This video has been done a few times for me because I'm struggling myself, and I know there's others that are struggling as well as of the election results currently. Why, yes, every vote still needs to be recounted and everything else. Nothing is officially, but it is official. I just want to let you all know that if you need to talk, I will be available to talk. If you want to talk to other family members or anything, have a bottle of wine, an entire bottle of wine. It's okay. Having ice cream.
A lot of it.
Just talk to someone. Get out your coping skills, anything like that. If you want to not talk to friends or family, there is also, if you need, the crisis number, which is 988. Everyone is struggling, and I hope that somehow, eventually, we can all, I don't know what to say, right, but I can't really say to get better because it's not, it's going to be hard. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys.
That mock turtleneck does wonders.
I think she ate Tim Walz' daughter.
I think so too. By the way, Charmin is here, and I would just ask everyone, welcome her, and don't squeeze the Charmin, please. Appreciate that. Mr. Whipple.
Did you hear what Hayden said?
No.
Her friend we were talking about last night got into varsity swim, and she was very excited, and she wanted to tell us.
Good.
Because she's on FaceTime.
Tell
with
her,
Hayden.
awesome. Some people are struggling more than others. That looks like that woman hasn't struggled to get a meal in her entire life. Wow. Liv?
Yeah, if you get me the name of the lady from the first video, I will try and find her and reach her out, because seriously, I would love to have her on the show.
I'm looking.
But again, the only time I go on Twitter is during the show, and I don't surf anything on Twitter. Never do.
Yeah, I know. Maybe you should start.
I've
It's
never
for the
liked
show.
it.
It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. I don't like you, and I'm here. You know?
Post, okay?
Just
I'm
saying.
gonna lay it to rest. Let me just tell you guys. This is my...
Her name. Are you ready?
I'm going to write it down because I will forget.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Hang on one second.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm not ready. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. I'm ready again. Autumn Whitbeck. At Autumn Whitbeck. Tell her we want her on the show. Tell her we'll fulfill the role of her grandparents. We're coming right out,
Not
dude.
Whitbeck.
Whitbeck.
Oh my gosh. Fat fingers.
You're not fat.
No, I said fat fingers.
That other lady was fat. You're not fat. What are we doing?
Go. Text him.
Is this the right time to be asking us?
No, Mom's just been wondering about my jacket and she keeps on asking me.
Where is it?
He doesn't know.
It's going to be at Levi's Appointments.
Then go find out where it's at.
That's
Ethan.
why I said. That's why I handed him the phone.
All right, Liv, give us your 1 minute closure.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. It was a good show. I don't know.
Same shit every time.
I still don't like the roulette wheel. I'm just gonna let you know.
Really, first time.
It's just like poker. I still don't understand the freaking game of poker. Every time you bring up the roulette wheel.
I think you're very well informed on the game of poker. Okay.
Oh my God, not that kind of poker.
You poker, you brought her.
The card game. Even though you've explained it, I don't know how many times, I would not be able to sit down at a table and play and know what's what.
Yeah.
It's beyond my capabilities to understand. I don't get the roulette wheel. It's beyond. I never said I was intelligent. So I just don't get it.
It doesn't make you not intelligent. It just means that it's an analogy that you don't comprehend very well, and I'll have to do a better job of figuring it out. When you'll play Diablo, folks. Thanks. We got to go watch the Avs. Hopefully, beat the Kings.
Are they on? I don't have a phone right now.
Yes, they are on tonight, folks. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. Thank you for hitting goal. We get trepidation and fear because the shows cost a lot of money, and when you see you're not hitting your goal, it kind of makes you go, "Oh shit," you know. You never want to lose on these shows, but it can't always be about money, and we try to make it not about money. In fact, we mentioned at the beginning of the show, and then we mentioned at 8:30. And if we're hurting, we kind of mention it every 5-10 minutes just to try to help people along. I don't ever want you to feel guilty. If we don't hit it, we're going to be fine. We'll survive. It's not that. It's just you can only have so many misses before those misses put a hole in the side of the boat.
And for people who are new to the show and don't understand, this is Matthew's full-time job. He does not have a job outside of this. Let me finish.
Can you just put it in more terms that don't sound totally bad? Sorry, it sounds like the roulette wheel.
How about you let me finish?
Okay,
and don't interrupt me in the middle of it.
Sure. Door number 2. Go ahead.
I'm going to throw something at you.
You've already done it. Withhold sex and shave your head. I heard that works.
This is Matthew's full-time job. He does not have another job outside of the home. I have a job outside of the home, and I do this.
Doesn't sound very good.
What? Then you
keep going. Keep going. No, you're right. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
You say it.
I apologize. Go ahead.
Well, apparently, I'm not doing a very good job.
That's a loser, and he doesn't have a job. I do.
No, that's your daughter. That was your daughter. I never said that.
Sounded. I mean, it just sounded like that. I was just saying.
You could have been like a lot of people might think that you just do this. You know what you could do?
You could have done this. You could have said Matt worked every single day for 20 plus years, 25 some odd years. He has worked 80-hour weeks. He has traveled 3 million miles in planes.
A million, 10 years.
Yeah, 1 million miles in a car. Was executive manager for multiple companies and has worked his tail off. And now he does all of that, minus the travel, minus the companies in this house. And I still work as hard as I've always worked. But you know what? I don't need you to puff me up. You're right. You've always worked harder than me. You've raised a family. You've been an amazing homemaker, and you still are a great mom, and you work too. It's my insecurities that are displaying right there more than anything. You didn't do anything wrong. You're just great.
I'm perfect. I know.
Yeah, you should shave your head. Maybe I should shave my head and withhold sex. Maybe that works. But I'm going to shave my head, and we're not going to have sex. You would 24 hours, and you would buckle like a belt.
Yeah, I think I could hold it out longer than you could.
Come on. Listen, do you really want to out this publicly? Are you kidding me? A stiff wind. And I just give you a look and you're like, yep, let's go.
You are the same way.
I think, yes, but I think you're exaggerating a little bit. Listen.
See, I would say, do you want to make a bet on it? But you know what? That's not going to work for either of us.
You would lose. I would do one thing and it would be over. It's like
I could think of a couple things like
yeah. But all you got, listen. But just remember, Guitar Hero Distraction. Who won? Just say, I won. Yes, yes. All right, folks. And the great thing is there's no losers in that game. Everybody's a winner.
That's a good point.
Folks, thanks for watching Don't Unfriend Me Show. We love you. I'll be back tomorrow. Olivia will be off. Olivia's off.
I have a date with our son to play board games tomorrow night.
I'm running solo tomorrow. That's fine with me. AM show. I'm not going to have an AM show tomorrow. I'm going to take the morning off, get my voice better. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me Show. We love you guys. You guys are awesome. I hope nobody was offended. Evelyn, I hope I didn't rub you the wrong way.
And Dawn, we will get to the tariffs next time. Message me, and I'll make sure it's answered when you're on the show.
Absolutely, 100%. I had a good time tonight. Guys, know my mannerisms. Know when I'm upset. I wasn't upset. Sometimes it's hard to explain the same thing, and I start acting like a dad. God bless. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, same bat time, same bat.
Everyone missed Yenny. She was a pain in the ass tonight. She wouldn't leave me alone. She was using her claws. She was trying to swipe at me and get my attention using her claws. So that's when she got kicked out.
Swipe her, no swiping. Swipe her, no swiping.
Can anyone tell me what show that is from? Really? Swipe or no swiping.
You know, this is why we don't get to play Diablo. It's because you won't stop.
Excuse me? I never not stop. You're the one who will go and go and go.
That's a compliment.
Your brain is in the gutter right now.
I know. It's been like 3 weeks. So
3 weeks.
2
days?
2 days?
Maybe?
Some things can't be stopped. That's why. I mean, some things, God gets involved and really fucks up the agenda. Good night, everybody. God bless. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Hey, y'all.
This is the Don't Unfriend
Good. I'm
Show.
glad you have a better mood. Have a good one, Susie. Good night, everybody.
Geopolitics, military analysis.
Susie got it from Dora the Explorer. Good job, Susie.
Swipe or no swiping.
Channels at the DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.